Hello Internet, and welcome to the Kirby's Dream Land bonus video. This is going to go over everything I missed in the LP, any cut content, some advertising stuff, along with making any corrections or anything that seems necessary. Let's just get right into it. Starting with things I didn't show, the bonus game. By pressing up A and select, or minus if you're playing on Switch or Wii, the game will activate the bonus game mode. This is basically an extra game mode that, among other changes, adds a ton of enemies, including harder variants of one seen in the first playthrough, and makes the bosses and mini-bosses significantly harder. If you need an example, I lost to Poppy Bros Sr. on my first attempt, and Kracko Jr. is actually one of the hardest bosses in the entire series on this difficulty, if we're not counting things from the true arena. I won't be showing this entire difficulty because I value my time and yours, but if you're looking for something more difficult than just the standard playthrough of this game will offer, then this is for you. Just maybe play the 3DS or Switch versions for the suspend points, save yourself some trouble. Back on the title screen, if you press down, select, or minus, and B at the same time, you'll unlock Configuration Mode. This allows you to choose Kirby's maximum health anywhere from 1 to the default 6, the amount of lives you start with from 1 to 9, and it also allows you to enter the game's sound test. And speaking of the devil, lastly, there's the sound test. It lets you listen to the music and the sound effects throughout the game. There's no secrets in here or anything, trust me, I listened to all of them. All you kids who are traumatized by Sonic CD, trust me, I get it, so was I. But the Kirby's Dream Land sound test isn't going to hurt you. And the last thing I really didn't show besides the bonus game, the game over screen. It's really mean in this game. I prefer the ones that put a sleeping cap on Kirby's head. Let's move on to talk about cut content for a bit. There's not much. So, the first thing is, in early builds of the game, the life meter referred to Kirby as Popopo. This is because his original name was, who would have guessed it, Popopo. His name was changed to Kirby to appeal to Western audiences as a nod to a lawyer named John Kirby who defended Nintendo's right to use Donkey Kong's name. In the Japanese version's configuration mode screen, a different vital bar graphic is used that isn't seen anywhere else in the game. This was changed in the international release. The Japanese title screen is also different. Since the Japanese title is so much shorter, simply being Hoshi no Kabi, or Kirby of the Stars, there was room for a little backdrop for all the various matching Kirbys being able to fit underneath. Since the logo is significantly larger in the West, the Kirbys here were moved down and made to be floating through the void with no ground to be seen. There are changes to 2 of the level intro cards between the Japanese and international releases. In the Green Greens card, the fruits at the bottom of the screen were rearranged for some reason, and in Float Islands, a single broken water tile in the lower left corner was fixed in the international release. I'm really scraping for things to talk about, huh? Because next I'm going to tell you that the screen that shows the command to enter the extra game. In Japan, there's an arrow pointing to the buttons you need to press, while the English version just tells you the buttons and doesn't point at the graphic. Now isn't that interesting? The last things are a couple unused sprites. There's one of Waddle Doo looking up, which was most likely meant to be used when he was charging his beam, and the second is of King Dedede in this creepy grayscale. This was most likely meant to be used in an intro animation for his boss fight, since in the final game it starts sort of abruptly. Oh, also the mint leaf power-up was called a sweet potato in Japan. It may not look like a mint leaf, but it doesn't look like a sweet potato either, so sure. That's pretty much all the regional differences in cut content in this game, so let's move on to this game's advertising. It's all awful. At least Japan got the vibes right at the start, having a child draw Kirby, until Kirby comes to life and hails the child and spits him out into space, never to see his family again. In America, for some reason, they attempted to make Kirby appear cool, which... No, why does he have teeth? God, why is America like this? I'm ashamed to live in this country, this commercial is so horrible. And they just reused this commercial in other territories. Of course they did. The world is doomed. Last thing I'll mention is that the small guys with mushrooms on their heads are called Cappies. I literally mentioned Cappy Town from the anime in this video and called them by their official names in Kirby Superstar Ultra, so don't know how I forgot. but thank you to commenter Cornbread but Cringy for reminding me. Anyways, that's all for this LP. I'll see you back here next time for something completely different. And always remember, I'll never make a Let's Play that's not considered to be one of the numbered ones, so this is Let's Play number 5.